Hello. It might be late for a Crysis 2 tutorial, however better late than never. Considering the amount of new players after the Maximum Edition sales and perhaps upcoming Crysis 3, it may still be useful. In this tutorial, I want to talk about basics of Crysis 2 as well as first-person shooter games. What is necessary to improve your gameplay and what are the things you have to avoid. There are a lot of things to mention, but I am going to try to make it as short as possible. What is skill? You are going to hear this word a lot, either for trolling or humiliation or else. Actually, skill is a combination of little talent and lots of experience, like all things in life. We all start with small steps and then we improve them. It's quite natural. Before starting, let me mention something on this video as well. I don't like the word killing, so I'm going to use takedown instead. I wish someday all wars and killings end. What's the difference between Crysis 2 and other shooter games? Well, among many things, it's the nanosuit. We are going to talk about it a lot in the following minutes. One of the reasons I love Crysis series is that the developer Crytek is an independent game studio. Crysis 2 is a great game, if not the greatest. It may take time getting used to it, but patience will be worth the fun you'll have. Even the cheaters won't be that much frustrating once you get used to Crysis 2, because you'll not be beaten by most of them all the time. Don't ever think of using cheats, it's not a way of winning. Good part of every activity, or perhaps what makes an activity good, is friends. So make friends. This is the first rule. Who knows, maybe then you can form a clan, play competitive matches which are a lot of fun and a lot different than public matches. For every online multiplayer game there is an important thing. Frames per second, shortly FPS, which is highly related to the horsepower of your computer. You may not notice the difference in single player campaigns, but in multiplayer it has to be at least 50 or 60 frames per second. You can check your FPS count with several programs. I recommend MSI Afterburner, a free and good program for taking screenshots, recording your gameplays, tweaking your GPU, etc. Stay away from tweaking your GPU if you don't have any knowledge about it. If your computer is relatively weak, there is an AHK script of a fellow player Bluetar. You can find it on mycrysis.com forums in order to get higher FPS. If you like, you can change some settings. Adjust mouse sensitivity, change some keys if you are not comfortable with the default keyboard settings. For example, I'm using left alt key for sprinting, left shift for melee, third mouse button for nanovision, and fourth mouse button for visor. I'm quite comfortable with these settings. Nanosuit was making all the difference in Crysis 2. Let's have a closer look then. Nanosuit includes 3 different groups of modules: armor, stealth and power. With each module you can utilize a unique ability of the nanosuit. However, you can use only one module of each group at a time, which makes 3 in total. Every nanosuit module has 3 levels which unlock gradually as you play with the module. Level up your nanosuit modules since every level has unique benefits of its own. Air Stomp is absolutely a funny module. You jump from high places to the ground, close to opponent, and can even get multiple takedowns, especially in crash site games, where the opponents have to be close to each other. First upgrade prevents fall damage from high places, and second one provides quick recovery after you perform an air stomp attack. The secret of this module is to jump from as high as possible. Threat Tracer shows the bullet trajectory. Second level highlights incoming grenades. Third highlights nearby explosives. This module might be useful under heavy sniper fire in maps like Lighthouse, or if other players are using LTAC, etc. Proximity Alarm is one of the most efficient modules. It alerts you if opponents are in close proximity. Upgrades of this module increases the range and level of the alert. Proximity alarm is quite useful while sniping, since you are less mobile and sniper's scope narrows your vision. The opponents can easily flank you without even you notice. If many opponents are using cloak, the alerts of proximity alarm can save you. Armor Enhance, one of the best modules in intense combat situations. First, let me explain how armor works. When you are hit, as long as you have energy, the nanosuit armor absorbs the damage you take. As you take hits, suit energy drains to zero, you quickly lose health and die. Energy management is crucial, we'll talk about it. With Armor Enhance, the energy drain in armor mode is reduced, so you get more tolerable to damage slightly. This buys you a little time or room for opportunity to take down the opponent. Trust me, sometimes even milliseconds matter for life and death. Second level of this module increases movement speed in armor mode, which is good for strafing. Third level protects you from nanosuit jammer, which is also good if you are holding crash site, etc. Nano Recharge, pretty useful module. Faster energy recharge and faster health recovery when you're hurt. If you run and gun in a faster pace with shotguns, light weapons, playing the objective in capture the relay or extraction, you will be in need of a lot of energy and nano recharge might be the way to go. Detonation delay. Well, if you are playing crash site, you or at least a couple of your teammates who play the objective should definitely use this module, because it will rain explosives in the pod zone. Level 2 delays C4 explosions, level 3 provides protection against Jaw missile. Energy transfer, used mostly in shotgun play. When you take down an opponent, this module transfers a certain amount of energy and compensates your energy loss during the action. Considering the short range of shotguns, you are going to need this energy a lot. In third level of this module, after the patch 1.9, only the remaining energy of your opponent is transferred, not full energy restored as in the description. Now let's have a look at the modules in the stealth group. First one is Stealth Enhance. Improves your stealth, obviously. The bonuses of second and third level are no shadow and reduced energy drain a lot in stealth mode. Normally in cloak you lose the energy very quickly. Energy related upgrades are always good. This module is mostly used by shotgun users for obvious reasons. Can be useful while playing capture the relay or extraction as well. Blind Spot, one of my favorites. With Blind Spot equipped, you are not seen on opponent's radar unless you shoot, and this gives a lot of opportunities. Because you have to be in the line of sight of the opponent in order for him to notice you. No radar signature. Second level protects you from opponent's tagging, which is also awesome. Because a tagged player is a primary target, everyone will see his location and many will try to take him down. It's a psychological tendency. With third level, you are literally unseen in nano vision while in stealth. All good. Covert Ops, one of the favorite modules of many players. Reduces the sound of your footsteps. You can hear the opponent's footsteps louder and protects you from safe airstrikes. Good enough. Radar Jammer. This module scrambles the opponent's radar. Upgrades are also jammer related. Now, one might think that radar jammer will alert the opponent that you are close and exposes your proximity. However, it may be quite useful when you play close to your teammates. So altogether, you can have the opportunity to hunt them down. A blind radar is one of the most annoying things in this game. Tracker displays the energy signature of opponent's footsteps. Knowing where your opponent is headed is quite an advantage. Cloak Tracker. With this module, if a nearby opponent enters the cloak, you hear a sound. Upgrades provide more visibility of cloaked opponents. Visor Enhance. A pretty useful module. When aimed down the sight, you can see the outline of the opponent's body in red. You see the cloaked opponents as a faint red blur through the scope. Also, you can see the faint red outline of the opponents behind thin materials and even walls, used a lot in sniping. Third and last one is power group of modules. Side pack allows you to carry more ammunition and explosives. Point Fire Enhance. This is an upgrade for hip firing to reduce the bullet spread while firing from the hip. Especially with shotguns, this module is useful since you always fire from the hip with them. Aim Enhance. Reduces the weapon recoil, which is very good to increase accuracy. Reduces the aim shake caused by nearby explosions. And actually I don't want to talk about this, but it's what it is. Third level of this module increases the mobility while aiming down the sight. In fact, it ridiculously increases the mobility so that it becomes harder for your opponent to shoot you in face-to-face situations. It's a game design error in my opinion, but again, it's what this module does. Weapon Pro. This is one of the most common modules among players. Benefits are great: faster reloading, faster aiming down the sight, and switching weapons. No need to say more. Great for intense combat situations. Loadout Pro. With this module, you can carry a primary weapon instead of a pistol. Mostly a sniper and assault rifle is used by players, but you can try out your own combinations. Also, you are not affected by the mobility penalty of weapon attachments. Carry heavy weapons faster. Rapid Fire. Increases the rate of fire. It's devastating in close range, however in middle and long ranges decreases the accuracy due to high recoil. Can also be used with sniper rifles, especially with ghosts, considering the low rate of fire of this weapon. Mobility Enhance. Reduces the energy drain while sprinting and jumping, which is very good, and with upgrades you gain the advantages of ledge grab speed and faster firing after sprinting. Very useful for faster paced game style. With shotguns, playing Capture the Relay game in which you have to flee quickly after stealing the relay. Retriever. This dog collects the dog tags of the opponents you've taken down, so you don't have to go over the bodies of opponents and expose yourself. Retriever is also a friend of snipers. With second level, support bonuses require one less dog tag, and with third level, support bonuses last longer. Weapons and attachments. Every nanosuit module, weapon attachment have their own advantages and disadvantages. You have to find good combinations of them according to your style, which game type you play, and how you play. Keep in mind that every weapon attachment you equip has a mobility penalty, except laser sight, because with laser sight practically you are still using an iron sight. Also, laser sight makes rifles less recoil. That's why lots of players use it while exposing themselves more. You can destroy SEF gunships with 3 rounds of Gauss and 4 rounds of Gauss attachment, and destroying the SEFs is pretty cool. Aiming. In every shooter game, aiming is one of the most important things. You have to be accurate, make sure every bullet you shoot counts, and take down the opponent as quickly as possible. Train yourself to get your aim better. There is a map made by Spitfire for aim training. I recommend it as well. You can find it on againmycrysis.com. In Crysis 2, strafe shooting is quite effective. There are 2 aspects of accuracy while shooting a target. First, aim down your sight towards the opponent as close as possible. Then, move slightly left or right to make targeting precise. Then shoot and track your opponent wherever he moves until he is down. Use your mouse less and left-right keys more in order to keep your aim precisely on your target. Of course, there will be exceptions, but this is the general way of getting your aim better. In time, you're going to get used to it to the point that when you turn to your opponent and aim down your sight, your rifle will point directly to the target, even the head. It will be like riding a bicycle. You'll do it with your instincts. Your brain will calculate the process automatically. Some players use low mouse sensitivity to be more accurate. You can also try it out whether it fits you or not. This will cost you a lot of mouse activity while moving, but in return, your aim will not be affected with the slightest movement of your mouse. In my experience, lower mouse sensitivity might be better with sniper rifles and Grendel, while higher mouse sensitivity might be better with automatic rifles in intense combats. It's up to you actually. Situational awareness. First of all, learn the maps you are playing. Paths, corners, edges, spots, places usually used by players, spawn points, etc. Always take into consideration of the locations. Locations of your teammates, possible locations of opponents. Always have an eye on radar, because radar is your guide for where to go, what to do, as well as where your opponents are. Be aware of your environment. You'll see dead body markers for a short while after a teammate of yours is down. Notice that, because at least one of your rivals is there. Use nanovision if you are suspicious of someone is close or onto you. Activate nanovision when you hear footsteps or proximity alarms alert as well. You can make your nanovision clearer with a little tweak. Check mycrysis.com for it. Check those damn corners. This is one of the most common mistakes. Aim down your sight before you turn a corner in order to be prepared in case an opponent is there. Energy management. In Crysis 2, you have a nanosuit which makes all the difference, and it requires energy. Use your nanosuit and energy wisely, because that's the key to survive. Never engage a battle with insufficient energy. Stop energy draining movements like sprinting, jumping, staying in cloak before more than half of your energy goes off. Before you are out of energy, check for a place to hide and move towards it while checking your surrounding. If you are out of energy, hide and wait, then do what you want. Do not hurry. Note that high jumping drains enormous amount of energy. Don't do it unnecessarily. Advance with low jumps instead. Stealth also takes away a lot of energy unless you are equipped with stealthiness, so try not to use too much stealth. Movement. Well, Crysis 2 is a fast-paced game. Everyone has nanosuit and means to find the opponents, just like you. So, be always on the move. Don't stay at somewhere long. Especially do not camp. I assure you, if you camp somewhere, someone will find and finish you soon, sooner than you expect. While moving from one place to another, make sure that you are always close to some kind of cover. Make sure no one can shoot you from at least one certain side of yourself. For this, advance close to walls, edges of the maps, etc. to reduce the chances of taking fire from multiple directions, because no one can handle it. Don't travel in the middle of the map like a bullseye on you. Don't sprint in a straight line. Make zigzags instead. Move unpredictably. Try to flank the opponents. If you are flanked and someone is shooting at you, quickly change your place, jump in order to avoid damage at that very moment, while turning to opponent and fire back. Try not to use common and predictable paths. Surprise your opponents. If you are cloaked, you die quicker. Stealth makes you more hidden, but more or even most vulnerable to attacks. Combat. In combat, accuracy is very important among many things. As I mentioned, strafe shooting works quite well in Crysis 2. Move left and right while shooting. This makes you more accurate and harder to be hit by your opponent. Never go forward while shooting. This is one of the most common mistakes of less experienced players. Fire from the hip sometimes in close situations to take advantage of mobility. If the target is far away, use burst firing to avoid bullet spread. Always engage armor by pressing that Q key before you shoot. Make it a reflex. Never shoot while you are cloaked, because that runs nanosuit energy off. If you are short or out of ammo while shooting at an opponent, do not reload. Switch quickly to your pistol. If you have taken down an opponent and half the magazine is left, do not immediately reload. Wait some time and check your environment, because his teammates seeing the action on radar may be onto you. Do not rush to collect dog tags for the same reason. This is another common mistake, even by the experienced players. Don't engage a group alone, especially if they have already noticed you. If it's possible, eliminate them one by one. Have a team to engage them or move to an advantageous location. Keep in mind that suppressed weapons fire is not shown on radar. If the opponents are far away from firing range, take your time and tag them. Use the objects in the map against your opponents. Minimize yourself as a target by having the objects as cover, or even completely hiding yourself behind them. This will help you not only to take down the opponents, but also make it a lot harder for them to take you down. For better quality gameplay, you have to learn to utilize all of the things mentioned here, and even more. Learn from your mistakes as well, for mistakes are also a good mentor, and try not to repeat them. Be patient while improving your skills in action, in shooting, in defending, etc. Do not rush, do not give up.